What's up, YouTube? So as you can see here, this is actually a Nemesis map, and it seems like I have Headhunter buffs, but little do you know, I actually do not have Headhunter buffs. I actually have Rampage, but I'm using an Inspired Learning in this clip, and this clear speed is quite amazing. This is doing 20% Delhi Park with Nemesis currency, and a lot of stuff drops. I would say on average you probably get around 3 to 4 exalts, probably maybe less, 3 exalts roughly in raw currency. So it's been a blast doing this. I'm pretty much doing this until I can afford my Headhunter. I think I have around like 6 cards now, so 2 more cards. So we should have the belt tomorrow, and then I don't need to worry about farming for the belt before it inflates in price too much. Although I did want to buy a Mage Blood, but it seems like there's a new most expensive unique item in PoE, and it's kind of crazy to think about it because Hateforge was always probably the last one that could beat out Headhunter, but this time around, Headhunter has been dethroned by a belt, an item that takes up the same slot, and I just wanted to go over how many Mage Bloods are actually in existence in Scourge League and what builds people are playing with it. Before we do that, let's go into my gear and see how my setup is going, because I actually have not made that many changes, but some changes are actually pretty big, and it will help you out in making you clear faster and have a more enjoyable experience overall. Not like that right there's a huge lag spike and my character just instantly died. So if you remember yesterday, my character was level 95, and now he's still level 95 with no XP. And that's just the nature of doing like Nemesis currency with Beyond. Beyond and having double Beyond on a map is super rippy, so don't expect to live, especially when you only have negative 39% chaos res, even though the character is quite tanky. Doing double Beyond without a Headhunter is oftentimes suicide unless your character is just a mega tank. But with Delirium on the map, it is incredibly hard to stay alive for a very long time. And a lot of people wonder how much my gear actually is, so I might go over my total budget of the gear, since there's not really much that really changed. So if we start here, this claw I made this claw myself with essences, so pretty much I don't really know how much you would value this claw. It's not like incredibly good, but it does have multi on it. So I'd probably say that you could probably get this around like 30 chaos, maybe a little bit more. But I made this in less than, I think, 20 chaos worth of essences. Now this helm, I bought the base, I think, for 35 chaos. And I re-rolled it, and then this helmet actually looks awful. Someone on my stream actually made fun of this helmet and said that why did I not re-roll it, and the main reason why is because I actually value the life regen. Actually makes a big difference while picking up loot in Delirium maps, because Delirium is really annoying, or at least Delirium orbs maps, because there's always mobs spawning out of nowhere and trying to kill you. But you can see here, those two pieces don't even add up to 1 exalt. This amulet is actually, I think I bought this for 50 chaos, and the reason being is that it was quite expensive at the time. All this rare gear gets cheaper and cheaper over time, pretty much because more people ID items and there's more better items out there. So this item is probably around 1x after you, no, it's not 1x, because Panopticon is actually a very cheap anoint. I thought it was a golden oil, but Panopticon is green and indigo and opalescent, or maybe violet, I'm not sure which one it is. But basically, this amulet is less than 1x. This red blade banner shield is now 5 chaos. I did buy it for 20 chaos initially, so it definitely went down in price significantly. Mark of the Elder, 72 chaos. I bought this for around 1.1x. Now this ring is really nice because it's flat cold damage. A lot of people ask me, how do you actually cap out your brittle? And the main important thing is to have flat cold damage on your claw if possible, and getting this ring, which also gives you a bunch of flat cold damage. And those two things together should give you a fair chunk of cold damage. That should make it so that you can keep Trinity up 24/7 easily. And you could also get, and you could also apply the max effective brittle instantly. This ring here I bought for like 50-60 chaos, and unfortunately I did lose my other Assassin's Mark ring. However, you can easily pick up a ring like this for, I think it's only 20 to 30 chaos without such good life and mana rolls. But basically, let's see here. Assassin's Mark Ring. Oh, it doesn't even show. It doesn't let me actually search it. But Lionized Vision, this chest piece is actually incredibly cheap, 6 link. You can see there's actually some that are up for 30 chaos. I can only imagine what this is. -2 to level of Socket of Gems. This one is 53% reduced armor, evasion, energy shield. Some of these mods are just absolutely awful. I have no idea what they were thinking when they introduced these. But you can see the ones that are really, really cheap have some horrific side effects. This person decides that -35 life is reduced reflective fizz damage is actually not terrible. But almost all of the ones that are super cheap are terrible. This one is actually normal, but it has 66 life on the roll. But I'm not sure if you can actually re-roll it with a Tainted Divine or something. I'm not really sure. But you can get a 6-link chest like this for incredibly cheap. This gloves, I think, was 5 chaos. It's just some life, resist, and accuracy roll. Maybe it was 10 chaos. And this belt, I made it myself. I bought the Stygian base for 10 chaos or so, and then I spammed Chaos Essence, which is Screaming Essence of Envy, until I got the Chaos Res and I finally got a life roll. I saw a T1 armor roll, so I was like, I'm just going to settle for it. It's still waiting for a Leo Exalt, but unfortunately, I have not been able to find it. And now this boots, I literally SSF'd. I picked it up off the ground. It looked pretty good. Had an open prefix, had a lot of evasion and energy shield, so I just went with it. Now, ideally, this boots you will want to have Tailwind, and also you want to have Pen if you haven't killed recently. So you can see here, a lot of things on my gear are just not optimal. I don't even have a level 21 Lightning Strike. This Awaken Added Cold is not level 5, level 6. Awaken add elemental damage with attacks is still level 1. I did buy this gem earlier today. And Nightblade is no quality, although I think quality is only crit chance, but it still matters. Trinity quality is 10% LE damage. And then this is Pen in terms of boots, 10% Pen. And both of these could have Catalyst, so I should probably use my Catalyst on them. You want Attack Catalyst so that you get more cold damage to attacks. And same here, you probably cold attacks for sure because you get the elemental damage higher and the lightning damage. So you can see here there are tons of little different things that I could do on my character, and all of them really adds up. This weapon is not 30 quality, and you can also get the weapon craft enchant on harvest to get attack speed instead of fizz damage. And I could switch to a blizzard crown, and this one could have an attack speed craft instead of this. This could have a wed roll on it, a weapon elemental damage roll. And I could eventually switch out these nodes to go get a large cluster. So a lot of people ask me like, oh, how do I get more damage? I kind of feel capped out. In reality, there's a lot of different things, and I just listed a few of them. You can also try to run more offensive flasks. So really the sky's the limit, and trying to optimize any character honestly takes quite a while. At this rate, hopefully in the coming days, you'll see me optimize it more. Right now, I'm pretty much just saving for doctors, and I should be able to buy it very, very soon. So next in line, you might see me with some different gear. But now I want to talk about the new most exciting unique in PoE, which is Mage Blood. Now, a lot of people did not really know how rare Mage Blood was going to be. When Chris announced the unique, he said it was going to be rare, but I didn't really think that it would be as rare as Headhunter, and I don't know if it's actually rarer than Headhunter. But this is actually interesting because if you decide to Ancient Orb a belt, you could potentially hit 2 jackpots now with Mage Blood and Headhunter. So now when you get the highest rarity tier and it has the roll within it, maybe you have 2 options. Although I don't know if Headhunter has been moved out of the rarity tier where Lotta's Coil. But that's just some food for thought if anyone wants to gamble with Ancient Orbs before they quit the league in the future. But Mage Blood is 140x, while Headhunter is only 83x. Now, a lot of this has to deal with how many are on the market, and only 3 of them are available, and everyone has them at a sky-high price. And then Headhunter, on the other hand, has, let's see how many available total, 11 showing right now, and it has 16 on and offline. And I do expect Headhunter to go up a lot more. I think people will really value the belt, especially in this meta with everyone trying to get what's it called, trying to do the Scourge maps with Delhi and Nemesis currency. And Headhunter is almost mandatory, I think, or having a Mage Blood. Both these belts are pretty much the most build enabling, or not build enabling, but most empowering to the build items out there that you could possibly find. Whoa, this amulet is also 50 exalts. I guess there's another amulet, another item that is very close to being the top. But this item seems to be extremely, extremely rare. And this is probably because it comes from, what's it called, the Uber Breach. So you can see here, aspirational content is pretty cool. And they have added some additional chase uniques. Now, the question is, how many people are actually using Mage Blood? Because Mage Blood could be quite common and a lot of people could just be equipping it. But it would show up on PoE Ninja. You see here, there are 15 characters found with Mage Blood. And Headhunter, you have, I think it's roughly double, 27 people found with Headhunter. And most of these people playing Headhunter are playing Seismic Trap, which is kind of strange. Not really sure how good it is on a Seismic Trapper. I guess getting Fizz buffs is very nice, especially for mapping. And yeah, mostly Seismic Trap, Exsanguinate, Lightning Arrow for the 5-way carries. So there are a few people starting off the 5-way carry builds. This person here has Arborix. But let's go look at Mage Blood and see what builds these people are playing. So a lot of these people who have the Mage Blood probably found this somehow, because this guy is just playing some random Spectral Helix build. Guy is just a Saboteur with Cold Iron Point, Seismic Trap. Oh, this Berserker has it and he's playing Earthquake. So I'm pretty sure most of these people who found it, unless they're an incredibly good person at making currency, probably just found it on the ground in a map or something. So this person here is playing Lacerate with a Mage Blood. So the main way you can utilize Mage Blood is you can see all of these people will run Dabblers, or Abecedarian. And all what this does is it gives you increased effect of the flask. So you get increased effect of Quicksilver, Amethyst, and Basalt. So every one of these people are running it, and that's the right way to do it. And they also use the enchant that gives you 70% increased effect. So these flasks in reality have almost 100% increased effect of the flask, making it absolutely crazy and powerful. Now the main thing you can note is that so many different people can use the Mage Blood. So there's so many different builds, so many different ascendancies that just all fit into their build. All they have to do is just run 4 utility flasks of their choice, put on the orb to give it increased effect, and then roll it with a more increased effect, and you have an absolute powerhouse of a flask. Now, I do expect in the future more people to maybe use a resist flask, because using a resist flask means you don't have to worry about resist on any of your other pieces of gear, which is an incredibly good lifesaver, and it allows you to get more damage on your other slots, because all of those suffixes that are meant for resist could be now damage. That's another thing to keep in mind. But overall, Mage Blood is much more uncommon than Headhunter, surprisingly. I don't know if it's in a different rarity tier or how it's actually being done, but it seems that there's less people with Mage Blood than Headhunter, even accounting for people who might have bought it and equipped it. But it remains to be seen what will happen. I do think more and more Headhunters will get generated, because unlike Mage Blood, Headhunter actually has a card that is directly correlated with it, which is the Doctor, the Demon, and I think there's another one, but I don't remember. But basically, that just gives a pretty nice summary of what's it called, this incredibly strong belt that is now by far the most expensive unique in Path of Exile this league.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all.
I threw in a little bit of the Delhi farming because I thought it was a Delhi Nemesis farming, because I just wanted to give a quick glimpse of how this character plays. And a lot of people tell me, how exactly do you make your character so fast? And there's one little change. I didn't really mention it earlier, but I'm using Inspire Learning, and this is how we are able to mimic having a Headhunter. So in this slot, I just took these two Frenzy nodes, I dropped these two nodes right here, and I guess this just makes it so that this activates Inspired Learning. It's actually a very, very efficient way of doing it. I guess if you wanted two Inspires and you really wanted to get as close to the Headhunter as possible, you could potentially take these ones here, but it's actually a lot of points, and I don't really think we actually have the points to do it. So this is probably as good as it's going to get. It's very, very point efficient, so if you're ever planning on farming any beyond, make sure to do this. But hopefully everyone has been enjoying the build if you're playing it. And if you haven't been playing the build, or you learned something about the new Mage Blood belt and why you should probably try to get one, I know I will try to get a Headhunter and a Mage Blood. But the Mage Blood seems like it's just going to shoot up in price to astronomical levels, and I wouldn't be surprised if it surpassed the price of a mirror. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors and exalts than I do, and see you next time. Bye.